Check out the highlights now for our first of two practice sessions, Robson Civil Townsville SuperSprint. 8th round of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. Cars went out with an overcast sky, 23 degrees initially. It bumped up about 1 degree through the 30 minutes. And lots of things have been tweaked with these cars week on week. A lot of people have gone and studied their data, tried to find where their weaknesses are and trying to unlock those tiny fractions required. One thing that you have to contend with when you come back to a circuit 7 days later is it gets all painted and made to look pristine. So shiny lines down there in the braking approach to turn 11 trapped several drivers, including Shane Van Gisbergen. This is a wild moment for Andre Heimgartner at turn 3. He hit the curb really hard and it sat up high. Huge amount of air to the right-hand side of that car. Had to turn it down and steer it away from the wall. That could have been very ordinary. Lock rear brake almost cost some damage for James Courtney into turn 2. Very close to rubbing it up against the concrete. Shane Van Gisbergen clobbered that turn on the inside, the curbing here, several times really hard. We saw big evidence of understeer there when it landed. He got it onto the grass but recovered it. Ended up doing a mighty job right at the back end of the session. There it is for the second time as a carbon copy. At that point, he'd been stitching together fastest sectors, so it was no surprise that he did jump up. But in the end, it was James Courtney who did a 1 minute 12.6 for the very best time that we saw in the Boost Mobile Mustang. We didn't see everybody on the same condition tyre. We'll see more of that in the next session. And so it was Courtney over Van Gisbergen, and Bryce Fullwood was third, just 7/100ths of a second.
But it was a nice job by James Courtney with a 12.6.
Confirmation of results from our first of two practice sessions, Robson Civil Townsville SuperSprint. 12.6 for James Courtney right at the very end of the session, home by 5/100ths from Van Gisbergen. Tiny margin to Bryce Fullwood. Scott Pye got in the game right at the end as well. Chaz Mostert sat at the top for a long period of time. David Reynolds just outside the 10. Waters, LeBrock, Jones, Pither, Jacobson. Holdsworth, Whincup down in 18th position. Mark Winterbottom also down there in 22nd. It's got a lot to do with who was on what tyres. I suspect the track was just a fraction dirty as well.